All right, today I'm joined by LFA fighter Erique Owens. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know you're super busy right now. But, before we talk about your upcoming fight, I just want to talk about your last performance. We're about 2 months removed from it. I just want to know, how good did it feel to pick up that victory in such stunning fashion after getting finished in your last one?
It felt great because I didn't know Joto Mia had like a big following and everything. I honestly didn't know he was that good of a striker too. Yeah, I didn't. That's like the first fighter I fought where I didn't watch any videos or nothing of him. I just listened to my coach on that one, and I really didn't expect a finish. I thought it was gonna be a full 15-minute fight. You know what I'm saying? So it felt good to get the finish, and it just truly shocked me.
Right. So do you typically do a lot of deep diving into your opponent's film before you fight them?
I don't. I look at what the films I find, but I really won't like just really dig into them real deep. Like if I see someone who got a fight videos, I watch. If my opponent got videos, I'll watch them all once, probably twice. But
Right.
that's it. It ain't no real big
Mhm.
thing for me just to study and examine these videos like some of these bigger fighters do.
Right, I understand that. And so how has the training camp been for this camp? And when did you start preparing for it?
This one been good so far. No injuries or nothing. Look, a couple of people backed out and everything, and somebody finally, said yes and signed the contract and didn't pull out.
Hmm.
So that was a good thing. Pretty much I started training for this one right after the next fight because the plan was originally to try to get back on LFA, but try to get on their Colorado card.
Hmm.
But we ended up finding I had like 2 or 3 weeks after the fight that hey, they got a Dallas card coming up and they wanted me on it. So we just like, we'll take it if they find somebody.
Right. And I know it's a part of the game, but how frustrating is that for you when opponents do pull out?
Honestly, it's not that frustrating for me because there's so far there's always been somebody else to step back in and
Right.
pick up where the other person couldn't fight. You know what I'm saying? And then I think some people have it's a lot of frustrating for some people because they spend this whole time training and preparing to fight for a specific person.
Right.
So, they already got that game plan built in for a long time. Me or otherwise, I really don't have no like strict game plan or nothing. It's basically simple. If you're a striker, I want to wrestle you. If you're a jiu-jitsu guy, try not to get submitted by them. You know, if it's a wrestler, try not to get taken down. It's pretty basic, simple the way I look at the stuff.
Right.
You know,
So sorry. So with that being said, how do you see this fight playing out with that being said?
I see this going to a decision. I think this going to be a slobber knocker because this dude I haven't watched none of his video. I only watched one video. Me and my coach just talking about what we want to do for the game plan. But it seemed like he got some really good hands. It seemed like he would like to stay keeping it on the feet, and I actually might just want to keep it on the feet too this time. Not necessarily because I think my chances of winning increases, but I noticed that if I put on a good show for any promotions, I'll get called back. So if I go and have a good war with him, good fight and everything, and I win, LFA will be calling me back again, especially if the crowd continue to love me. And you know how they are; they love them exciting fights.
Right. And I have to ask because I know fighter pay is a big issue that many people talk about constantly. Is fighting your only job? I know many fighters in the UFC have to work a second job while fighting.
Oh yeah, I'm at 3 to 4 jobs, brother man. I fight. Besides fighting, I work at this beverage company called Refresco. You know, typical warehouse industrial work, and then I do my little side hustles. It may be from handyman type stuff, from like fixing things, moving scrap. Um, some people might call me to help. They might do a house remodel or something like that. So
Right.
I try my best to keep a steady flow of income because, we fighters don't make much unless you up there.
Right. Is it hard to balance your working schedule with your fight schedule at times?
Not really. It's really not. The only problem I ever just really occurred with, balancing fighting and working the job is that a lot of a lot of the good paying jobs that I have turned down because fighting, they are first shift, morning.
Right.
For the last couple of years, Team Blitz, we had switched to morning training. So,
Right.
you know, all the jobs I could have making, decent money, at least working first shift, being told no. And then I've been offered a few jobs like doing stuff where I could have worked on like a oil rig or something to do traveling construction or something like that, but it's a no for me because, I ain't no gym hopper and I don't like people a lot. So Team Blitz is my gym, you know what I'm saying? They're my people. I wouldn't trade them for no one else, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
besides, them few little problems, them the only little problems I just really had, balancing work in the gym.
Right. Well, when I watch you fight, it's clear that you're an all-around fighter. You're constantly popping the jab out, putting the pressure on people, getting them against the cage, and you have some great grappling as well. But I'm just curious, what does your typical day-to-day training routine look like with having to balance work and all that?
So pretty much at the gym from 9 to 1, from doing everything from getting warm up. We probably, running some drills one day. Today was spar day, one of our spar days. We doing that, running drill, working on strength and conditioning. If we have enough time after we finish our main training and everything, and then once we get done, with that whole, our little training thing, if I got some side work some side work to do, I just might go to work from pretty much when I get off. I try to be like 5 or 6. Then I go to sleep from 5 to 6 to pretty much 10:30. I get up and work 11 to 7, and then depends on how it is. I might just go straight to the gym because the gym is closer to where I work. I might just go to the gym and sleep for 2 hours before class start, or I just might got and do my strength conditioning then if I haven't did it, if I feel like I don't want to do it after practice, you know what I mean?
Right. What what keeps you motivated to this day?
I just like fighting. It simply, if I wouldn't, I grew up fighting people. If I wasn't doing this in a cage, I'd be fighting people in the street still. It don't, it don't matter. It's just a legal way and less drama.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, when talking to fighters like yourself, I'm always fascinated about just how you got into the sport. So can you talk to me about the first day that you walked into the gym and why you even chose to do so?
What happened was, yeah, when I was back in high school, I had a soccer coach, and I played soccer and everything. He asked me what I wanted to do with life. I had an opportunity to go to college for soccer, and I didn't want to do it. And I told him I'm interested in fighting. He had a old school friend named Coach Luis. Well, we call him Coach Luis, but he had with a few other people like there's a few people that were fighting at the time that were big names. A dude named Vernon Big E, a dude named Kel Grady, and Chris Spicer. They ended up opening up a gym in Robinson called CTSF, and that was back when I was like still in high school, probably like 18, and you know, I he introduced me to them, and I started training. But then that gym shut down. So where I'm from, Waco, Texas, ain't a lot of MMA gyms. It's just not, and that was the first actual one there. So when that closed down, I just left it. I tried it, and I was just nowhere else to train. We had like boxing gyms and karate gyms and everything, boxing gyms and karate gyms, but then they were never just interested in one of them. But then probably about 7, 8 years ago, I had moved back to Texas, and I see there's a couple of people who opened up other actual MMA gyms, and the dude Chris Spicer that I trained with at first, he had opened up another gym. So after a few years of being back, I just like I need to do something. I'm getting bored just working. So I went to their gym, gave him a shout out, went to their gym, and that gym kind of fell off. So before it fell off, one of my friends that trained with me back at the old gym, he told me to come check out Blitz, where I met Jake Brennan. and the rest of my teammates. And at first I was iffy about joining them because the coaching staff was there, but he had no fighters. You know what I'm saying? The only fighter he had was his wife, Haley Brennan, and she was barely getting to it. And that made me hesitant to join. But then my homeboy Mondo, who was training with me, he decided to go there, and then we decided to go there and actually join and stay with them. Luckily, about 4 or 5 other fighters came, and it was like, all right, so shit, we stuck here now. You know what I'm saying? It's home.
Well, it's clear that you love fighting. You mentioned that if you weren't doing it for money, you would be doing it God knows where else. But I'm curious, what are those feelings that you get when you're walking to the cage? Can you just walk me what's going through your mind?
Honestly, the one thing that I stay thinking about when I'm walking into the cage is whatever walkout song whatever walkout song, bro. Cause like I don't do clubs and everything, so for me to hear, the music I normally listen to, just hearing on these loudspeakers and everything, it zones me out into that. But
Right.
then even when we step in the cage, it's not like no rush of excitement or no nervousness or nothing. Because like I said, I grew up fighting in the street. The only thing different about that versus this is really you're in front of a lot of people, and you got a record on your mind, but it's the same thing to me. I mean, pretty much the same as fighting in the street. There ain't too much difference. So I'm like perfectly calm and relaxed going in there.
You said you don't
Yeah.
do you said you don't do the clubbing. Do you mean just when you're in fight camp, you tend to cut out those types of things, or you do just not like that crowd in general?
Nah, yeah, I just don't do it. I don't like the crowd. Yeah, I ain't no big people person, and I love to drink. So you take the antisocial and dislike for a lot of people, and you add alcohol with it, it adds to trouble.
Yeah,
So I try to avoid it.
right. Well, you're clearly a hardworking guy who makes a lot of sacrifices for this sport. I'm just curious, what do you think of this new wave of social media influencers who try to play fighting and they get a lot of opportunities? Because you could play basketball, you could play football, but you can't play in this game. So I'm just curious what you think about them.
Man, from like my own personal view, I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I'm more of the old school era where hey, the people who fight literally grew up fighting either in the streets or they grew up, in the gym doing this or whatever, spending
Right.
that time and everything. But then on the other hand, like I guess business wise and everything, or I guess political views and everything, they smart as hell for it. They already got a name. It's easier for them to get a fight because hey, the name is already up there. They already got popularity and followings and everything. So it's really a smart business move for them, especially if they do got like some decent hands or whatever, or at least capable of being a decent fighter. Hey, it's a smart decision. It's a smart decision. So them two, that's how I feel about it. On personal and I guess business wise.
Yeah, totally understandable. So I'm just curious, where do you believe that puts you into this overall theme of mixed martial arts? Like, what is your end goal in this sport? Is this something that you want to keep doing for years to come?
Yeah, I want to do this as long as I can. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to achieve no greatness. I ain't even trying to make no huge paycheck or nothing. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I'm really trying to do is fight and hopefully get good enough to where, hey, whatever the bigger promotion signed me, they wouldn't have sent me overseas to fight or something. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never left the country, so I would love to do that. And I love being around. I've been around. I've been to a few different states and everything while fighting and without fighting. So, if I can travel and see the world while also fighting and everything, I'll be happy with this, no matter if I'm great or, just a bum.
Well, as long as you keep fighting, man, that's all I'm trying to hear and see. So,
I
if
appreciate it.
if you have any more time, I'd like to do just a little game of speed round questions. They're just all fighting related. A couple of questions for you.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Awesome. So, all right, who's the best striker in the world right now?
It's got to be Israel.
Who's the
It's
best
got to be Israel.
Who's the best grappler of all time?
It's at GSP and Khabib for me.
Right. Who is
I'm
your
going to go with
favorite?
Khabib.
Who is your favorite fighter of all time?
I want to say, I'm going to go with Matt Hughes.
Is there any fighter style that you try and mimic in your own game?
Nah, but if I was to try to mimic one, I would love to try to mimic Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't, right? That guy is entertaining as it gets.
Yeah, the definition of violence right there.
Yes, sir. If you could fight anyone in the history of the sport, who would it be?
Any weight class, man. Even though I get my ass whooped, bro, it'd be the great Johnny Bone Jones, man.
Yeah,
Hey, him or Fedor. It'd be Fedor. It'd be Fedor for me. Fedor.
that's a bad guy too,
Savage.
right? In 15 years, how will people describe Erique Owens?
Hey, just one crazy motherfucker who like to fight.
You gotta love
That's
that.
already how they describe me. So soon, I'm pretty sure as long as I stay doing the same thing, that won't change.
Right. Right. Well, that's everything I got for you, Eric. Once again, I really appreciate your time, guys. Make sure you all tune in to watch him fight live on UFC Fight Pass October 6th. Is there any last words you have, and can you let people know where they could find you on social media?
Hey, yo, for social media, I'm only on Facebook and Instagram, but just look up Erique Owens, Erique, and Owens spelled normal, and that'd be me. Insta and Facebook, and I would like to give a few shout out to people who sponsor me for this upcoming fight. Like thank Derek and Tracy Cowan for putting a lot of work giving me a lot of work so I can make a lot of money for this fight. Check out their businesses. Kids Learning Center, it's a daycare. ZGGA, there is a gymnastic gym. It's connected right with Blitz. Yeah, Zero Gravity Jiu-Jitsu Acrobatics. Yeah, and they also got a church too called Grace Family Church. I ain't all religious and everything, but I know I ain't knocking it for people who need somewhere to go. You can contact them. Also give thanks to my boy Jan Armstrong. He been sponsoring me since I started. Wish I had a bottle with me right now, but he got a bourbon called Blood of My Enemies. With a name like that, it's kind of easy to remember. Y'all can check it out. Give it out to another one of my employers, Richard Herdesky, for Ideal Home Solutions. We do a lot of remodeling. So if you near Waco, Texas, or anybody y'all need some work done, just look up Ideal Home Solution. Like thank another good friend of mine named Kathleen Calendar. She my personal doctor and everything. She always take care of me on my physicals and everything. And then she also threw some money my way for this fight, knowing that this is an important fight for me. And just shout out to everybody at Blitz and Waco, Texas, and anybody else who out here supporting me and everything.
Right.
And that's it.
All right, man. Have a good day. I really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, Nicholas. Hey, anytime you need one, just hit me back. Just mess me again. And hey, I don't mind doing it, brother, man.
Absolutely. Good luck.
All right, thank you, brother, man. Enjoy your day.